and welcome to LMU Community TV News. I'm Jansen Brown. We hope you're having a great week.
And I'm Peyton McDaniel. These are the stories we have for you today. The November general election was held Tuesday, November 8th throughout the region, including several local races in Claiborne County. Let's start out with the results from Cumberland Gap. Neil Pucciarelli will now hold the seat of mayor in the town of Cumberland Gap, and in the race for alderman, Teresa Fusen received 75 votes. Susan Bain received 71 votes, and Philip Waller received 79 votes. In the city of Harrogate, Linda Foltz will remain in the seat of mayor, and Gary Burchett and Levin Cox will remain in their seats as aldermen. The city of New Tazewell will have a new mayor following the election. Former Mayor Jerry Beeler will take over the seat currently held by Phil Greer. Andy Duncan will remain in the seat of alderman in Ward 1. Franklin Essery will take the seat of alderman in Ward 2 over Nita Luthen, and Jeff Lewis will remain as alderman in Ward 3. In the city of New Tazewell, the vote of consumption on the premises referendum, the vote received 503 for and 336 against. The city of Tazewell will also have a new mayor after the election. Bill Fannin won the seat with a vote of 358 over Wayne Jesse, who received 327 votes. Don Smith received 513 votes, and Hannah DeBusk received 503 votes to both remain in their seats as aldermen. In Wards 2 and 3, Johnny Ramsey received 486 votes, and Benny Enix received 497 votes. In the city of Tazewell, wine at retail food stores referendum passed with a vote of 426 yes and 210 votes of no. Other local results from the election can be found online at our Facebook page, LMU-TV. Fires continue to plague parts of the tri-state area as the drought conditions worsen and the long-range forecasts do not show any potential for precipitation that will lessen these fire threats. Currently, these wildfires across the state of Kentucky are responsible for burning more than 6,100 acres. There are burn bans in both Tennessee and Kentucky that prohibit the following: burning of forest, grass, crops, woodlands, marshes, or other similar areas, burning leaves or debris, campfires, bonfires, and warming fires, open pit cooking and charcoal grilling, and use of fireworks and welding may also be prohibited or regulated. Director of the Claiborne Emergency Management Agency and Homeland Security, David Breeding, says the unusually dry autumn is the perfect spark for wildfires. These dry conditions are predicted to continue to the end of the year, and it wouldn't take much to start a wildfire. So far in this year, there have been 837 wildfires that burned 20,000 acres of property within the state of Tennessee. For additional information and resources, please go to www.kym.ky.gov, where you can follow KYM on Twitter and like us on Facebook. The mission of the Tennessee Emergency Management Agency is to coordinate preparedness, response, and recovery from man-made, natural, and technological hazards in a professional and efficient manner.
Lincoln Memorial University mourns the passing of Caitlin Jo DeVries of Knoxville. DeVries, a second-year veterinary medicine student at LMU College of Veterinary Medicine, passed tragically in an automobile collision on October 31, 2016, at the age of 25. DeVries was a graduate of Collierville High School in Collierville, Tennessee, and of the University of Tennessee, Knoxville. DeVries was a student ambassador for LMU-CVM and often gave tours to prospective students. She commuted from Harrogate to Knoxville for her studies and often used her drive to re-listen to class lectures. DeVries was passionate about all animals and looked forward to pursuing a small animal practice when she graduated. LMU-CVM Student Government Association and the student chapter of the American Veterinary Medical Association have established the Caitlin DeVries LMU-CVM Memorial Scholarship to ensure DeVries' legacy lives on at the school. Contributions to the scholarship may be made online or by contacting LMU University Advancement at 423-869-6351. Following a moving candlelight vigil in DeVries' memory, the Cumberland Gap Volunteer Fire Department announced it would name its newly completed dog park in her honor. The Caitlin DeVries Memorial Off-Leash Dog Park will be formally dedicated at a later date.
An investigation by special agents with the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, an indictment has led to the indictment of a pharmacist on healthcare fraud charges. A news release from the TBI states that in January of 2013, agents from TBI and the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Office of Inspector General began investigating allegations made against a New Tazewell pharmacist. During the course of the investigation, information was developed that between May 2008 and May 2013, Joseph Collins allegedly submitted hundreds of fraudulent claims for prescription medications to Medicare and TennCare. 56-year-old Collins of Middlesboro was employed at Woody's Pharmacy at the time. On October 26, the Claiborne County Grand Jury returned indictments charging Collins with TennCare fraud over $60,000, insurance fraud, and computer crimes. Collins turned himself into the Claiborne County Jail and was later released on a $25,000 bond. A Claiborne County man convicted over 8 years ago for using an animal electric shock collar to control his 2 teenage daughters will have a second chance in court to make his case. In agreement with the state of Tennessee, criminal court judge Shane Sexton has set aside the conviction of 47-year-old Wayne Burkhart. This moves the case back to square one. A status hearing is now set for January 23, 2017. Burkhart was released from prison and then remanded to the Claiborne County Jail and is being held on a $500,000 bond. He was initially indicted in December of 2007 following allegations of sexual and physical abuse, made then by his 17-year-old daughter. The daughter said that her father had used a shock collar on her the day before because he was mad at her for going out with a boy. She also said that her mother had witnessed the incident. The initial court documents state the teen's testimony was validated by her siblings who were 15, 13, 11 at the time of the abuse. We will continue to follow the case and have more information as it is made available. There's more news coming up right after the break, so keep it right here on LMU Community TV News.
Did you know parking over tall, dry grass can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Got a quarter?
Every time I hear the alarm bell go off in school, I think it's an air raid.
A lot of houses in our neighborhood have been destroyed. I like to close my ears and sing songs whenever the bombs come close.
I'm worried our new neighbors won't like us.
But I know it's all gonna be worth it. I just want my family to be safe. But these are not my words.
These are not my words.
These are not my words.
They call me Maxie, but I prefer tripod. I was your above-average four-legged homie, and then wham-bam minivan. Some people pity me. Now that's lame. I still run, fetch, and swim. And the ladies love me. I'm the ultimate wingman. Just don't ask me to high-five.
Anticipation is growing as construction continues at the former location of J. Milton's in Middlesboro. Sagebrush is expected to open their doors in the near future, but to tell us about the progress of construction, here's Steve Mars.
The last time the LMU was here on getting some information of what we were doing, we've progressed with putting the stacked stone in, new windows. We're painting the roof, the metal roof. We put a new flat roof in the back. We're getting ready to pour concrete this week for the pads, for the porches on the outside in order to put stacked stone in on the columns. We're going to have a little porch around here with fenced-in porch. I'm sealing the rest of the parking lot this Saturday. So we're on the closing portion of getting the building ready for Sagebrush. I know we're not involved with the jobs, we just lease the building. There's been a lot of interest here in Middlesboro. And as you can see, there's a ton of traffic going by, and hopefully we can captivate some of that. Anyway, it's another piece of the puzzle trying to help Middlesboro and Bell County. We have changed the interior somewhat, where there's a bar inside, which is part of the progress here. It's gonna be really a pretty building when we get through with it. You don't create new business when you put a restaurant in. You just steal from others because there's only so much business here, but 25E is sort of a main artery of what we're trying to captivate. I'm on the tourism committee too. Middlesboro does not have a steakhouse. So we're lucky enough to land Sagebrush here, and it's a piece of the puzzle. So we'll, hopefully we're gonna have a draw, that added little draw for the people that are traveling through, the travelers, and then the local people, they'll have a little more opportunity to go to different places. So I think sagebrush.
LMU Community TV will continue to do updates with the construction and bring you more information as it is available. Park rangers in the Cumberland Gap National Historical Park are asking for the public's help in locating the owners of 2 goats that have been found. The 2 goats were found on the Tri-State Trail within the Cumberland Gap National Historical Park, and unless they are claimed, they will become park property on November 28th. To identify and claim the goats, you can contact Park Ranger Brad Cope at 606-248-1087 or 423-302-7328. You can call either number between the hours of 7 in the morning and 2 in the afternoon, Friday through Tuesday. A local business in Tazewell that has become a staple for the local community will soon be closing its doors. Here with the complete story is LMU Community TV News' Adam Haley.
For 20 years, Movie One has been stocking their shelves with the best in home entertainment. Whether it was VHS, DVD, and or Blu-rays, Movie One was there. But that will soon come to an end.
See, we started in 1996. Of course, we're closing down 2016, so it's been 20 years. Business was good till about 2010, started dwindling. The industry has killed business. When it went into DVDs, they just flooded the market, and we've been looking at closing for the past couple years. We just hated to give it up. We've met a lot of people here, made friends.
The years of renting movies at a video store have passed since the boom in the 1990s, with VHS tapes giving way now to digital downloads and other mediums to watch movies.
Well, when it was all VHS, you had 2 options. You went to the theater and watched a movie, or you went to the video store. That was your 2 options. Then after 6 months to a year, you could go buy it in a store, or a lot of places, 6 months pay-per-view. But then when it went into DVD, they was making them so cheap that the industry, in my opinion, they just got greedy. They just spit them out to everybody. And what they didn't realize is they was putting video stores out of business. Now, about 3 years ago, they tried to bring it back, but it was too late.
Movie One is obviously known for movie and video game rentals, but the other aspect that kept it going was their tanning beds that had been voted best beds in the county numerous times.
Tanning, if it was all year long, would be great, but it's a seasonal thing. It starts about February, and by May, it's over. So then you've got 6 to 8 months that you're not really making any money, but you still got to pay your rent, and you can't survive. You can't survive.
Currently, their stock of VHS, DVD, Blu-ray, and video games are all up for sale. But on November 30th, Movie One will close its doors for good, and with it, the end of the era of renting movies will go down with it. But Malcolm doesn't want to end on a sour note, as he has a message for all the loyal customers through the years.
Well, we want to, me and my wife, we're really, like I said, we've struggled about closing the store for a couple years now. We do want to say that we have really been blessed. We've really appreciated all our customers. Like I said, we've made a lot of friends. And it's going to be tough for a while. It's going to be tough. And we just want to say thank you and God bless.
Pre-Law magazine published its best value issue in October and named the Lincoln Memorial University John J. Duncan Jr. School of Law a best value private law school. The distinction came after the magazine calculated an estimated true tuition, the average amount students pay once grants and scholarships are factored, and weighted it with other factors including graduate employment rates, bar passage, debt and cost of living, and ranking private law schools. LMU Law was recognized with elite legal institutions including Boston College, Boston University, Brigham Young University, Wake Forest University, Washington and Lee University, and Washington University in St. Louis, among others. A total of 13 private law schools were included on the national list. It marks the first time LMU has been added to the list and comes on the heels of the school's most successful bar exam showing to date. With a first-time taker pass rate of 87.5%, LMU Law beat the state average of 73.23% for the first-time bar takers on the July 2016 examination. LMU Law's first-time taker pass rate, re-exam pass rate, and overall pass rate were each the second highest among all Tennessee law schools. Since the law school graduated its first class in May 2013, 93% of LMU law graduates who have taken a bar exam have passed it. On November 14th, each year is World Diabetes Day. It aims to increase an awareness of the effects of diabetes and the complications that are caused by the disease. The campaign is led by the International Diabetes Federation and its member associations around the world that include the American Diabetes Association and other diabetic organizations around the world. Events are arranged at international, national, and local levels. Some of those events include workshops, seminars, distribution of information to encourage at-risk individuals, bike races to increase awareness of diabetes, the distribution of geocoins for the use of geocaching. Civil leaders around the world issue proclamations to raise awareness of diabetes in their communities. Many events aim to raise money for research into treatment and is in conjunction with American Diabetes Month, which focuses on the nation's attention on the disease and the tens of millions of people affected by it. The 2016 theme, This is Diabetes. The campaign also invites you to submit your own stories to capture the authenticity of those who understand the disease the best. A furry face is the perfect addition for any family, and each week we bring you adoptable pups from the Claiborne Animal Shelter. These furry faces are available for adoption at the animal shelter, so let's show off this week's Pet of the Week in hopes of finding their forever family and home. Following your Pet of the Week, stay with us because Brandon Burke has your sports update right here on LMU Community TV News.
I'm with Liza from the Claiborne Animal Shelter, and today she brought Goober. Hi, Goober. Tell everybody hi. All right, tell us a little bit about Goober and what makes him so special.
Okay, first of all, Goober is camera shy.
I can tell.
So, and this is his first starring role on television, so he's a little uncomfortable about it.
He is so tense right now.
Yeah. He's a Jack Russell mix.
Okay.
He's about a year old, and he walks on a leash.
Good.
And he's very, very lovable, and he's somebody that has a lot of energy. And I know, shocking for a Jack Russell. So even though he doesn't look like it right now, he would need to be adopted into a family that's got plenty of time to spend with him and to play with him and take him for long walks, take him jogging. You know, I'm not sure if he knows how to play ball yet, but I'm sure he can learn. He's a smart little guy. And that's about it.
All right, so what kind of family do you think would fit well with Goober?
I think that he would do well in a family with older-ish kids, not really, really young kids, but kids that are old enough to work with him.
Okay.
And I think younger kids might get him a little too hyped up, you know, when they run around and stuff.
Right.
And so I think that he has definitely got lapdog potential.
Oh,
If there's a family who needs to have somebody to cuddle on their lap, Goober's your man.
Goober's the man.
Goober is the man.
Now, if somebody adopts him and they change his name, that will totally break my heart.
Oh.
Your name can't be changed.
I think he needs a new name.
You think he needs a new name?
Scout.
Scout.
King.
King Scout. That would be good. All right, so tell the viewers if they want to come visit or, you know, check him out, give them directions.
Okay. What you need to do is we have an adoption application. We've got it online at our website, claiborneanimalshelter.com, or you can come in and meet them and fill out an application while you're there if you find that it's a match. We do a background check. We want to make sure that all of your previous pets have been kept up to date on their shots and that they've all been spayed or neutered.
Okay.
If you have pets that aren't spayed or neutered, that's pretty much a showstopper with us. Once the adoption application is approved, the adoption fee is $150, and that will include him getting neutered, and he'll be microchipped.
Okay.
And he's up to date on his shots, so he'll have all his vaccinations. He'll be good to go for a year, in other words. He's been dewormed, he's had flea treatment, he's been heartworm tested, and he's negative. So he'll be ready to go home once he's neutered.
Cool. All right, so real quick, before we end the segment, talk about the importance of getting your dogs microchipped.
Okay. Getting your dog microchipped it's not like a GPS,
right.
But any shelter or vet that finds a stray dog, they have a scanner, and they can scan that dog and it'll give them a phone number to call for the microchip company.
Okay.
And then the microchip company will call the owner. We've reunited some people with their pets that way.
And that's a wonderful thing to
Right.
do.
Now, sadly, most of the animals we get in have not been microchipped, and they don't have a collar, they don't have any identification. There really is no way for us to find out who owns these animals. With dogs, we send them up north. And so we might hear somebody, we had somebody recently that talked about a dog that they had heard we'd had a month ago. Well, that dog's already adopted in a family up north, which is good.
Yeah.
You know, they do get a new family, but if you want to find your baby, when they go missing, get a microchip and help the people that help the animals find you.
If you lose your animal,
yeah,
it's a bad day. I can vouch for that. All right, so if you want to look at Goober or, you know, take him for a walk, play a little ball with him, you can visit the animal shelter. Or if you want to check out more information about him, you can go to the website, claiborneanimalshelter.com, or you can visit them on their Facebook page. It's the same, Claiborne Animal Shelter, and check him out and see if you want to make him or one of the other adoptable pets part of your family.
This time of year, what do you give? When it's your extra concert, game, or special event tickets to VetTix, you're giving our nation's service members and veterans an amazing experience they'll cherish forever. Plus, you're helping America's heroes de-stress, decompress, and strengthen family bonds. Your gift will do more and mean more than you can imagine. This holiday season, don't just give the experience, give the memory. VetTix, give something to those who gave. For more information on how you can make a difference right now, go to vettix.org.
Daisy is 6 years old, and she is my very best friend. I couldn't live alone without her. I spend a lot of time in my backyard. I feed the birds and the bees. I love my flowers. The color in my garden keeps the pink in my cheeks. I was very independent and thought I could take care of myself. I fell and I had to have Meals on Wheels. I love them. They're my savior. And I look forward to the volunteers because they've all become my friends. My name is Lola Silvestri. America, let's do lunch.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
Welcome back. It's going to be a busy week on the campus of LMU this coming weekend, as one athletic program will end its regular season while 2 more will be beginning theirs. The Lady Rail Splitter volleyball team will attempt to bounce back from consecutive losses last weekend as they gear up for a pair of home matchups against Lenoir-Rhyne University on Friday evening and Brevard College on Saturday afternoon. In the final 2 contests of the 2016 regular season, Lincoln Memorial will try to keep on pace with Wingate and Queens as the Lady Rail Splitters currently find themselves locked in a 3-way tie with the Bulldogs and the Royals for first place in the South Atlantic Conference ahead of the final weekend of the season. Lincoln Memorial holds an 8-1 record at home inside the Mary Mars Gymnasium in 2016 and previously held a 5-game winning streak before dropping back-to-back matches on the road at Catawba and Queens last weekend. Following the matchup with the Bears of Lenoir-Rhyne on Friday and the Senior Day outing versus the Brevard Tornadoes the next day, the Lady Rail Splitters have an opportunity to host the quarterfinal matchup of the South Atlantic Conference Tournament beginning on Wednesday, November 16th. LMU currently stands at 22-6 overall and holds a 16-4 record against SAC opponents. The LMU Sports Network will be covering both home contests this coming weekend, and you can tune in to www.lmurailsplitters.com for live video. As one regular season comes to an end, another will be getting underway on the campus of Lincoln Memorial as the Lady Rail Splitter basketball team will begin the 2016-2017 season on Friday when the Lander Bobcats visit Tex Turner Arena for an 8 p.m. tip-off as part of the SAC versus Peach Belt Conference Challenge. Lincoln Memorial will have to turn right around the next day and face the Pacers of USC Aiken for the second contest in the challenge at 4 o'clock on Saturday, also in Harrogate, Tennessee. The Lady Rail Splitters opened the 2015 season against these same two foes on the road, coming up short in both outings, each by 2 points. Lincoln Memorial finished last season with a 17-12 overall record and a 13-9 mark in SAC play. LMU advanced to the semifinals of the South Atlantic Conference Tournament, losing to the Anderson Trojans, ending the season. The season opener for 2016 through 2017, as well as the ensuing matchup the next day, will be covered by the LMU Sports Network on www.lmurailsplitters.com with live video. And much like the women's basketball team at Lincoln Memorial, the men's basketball squad will be competing in back-to-back days to open up the 2016-2017 regular season on Friday and Saturday. The Rail Splitters, who hold the number 2 ranking in the nation in the preseason poll for Division II, will be competing against the King Tornado in Greenville, Tennessee on Friday evening at 6 p.m. as part of the SAC versus Conference Carolinas Challenge. Lincoln Memorial will be staying in Greenville for another non-conference matchup the next afternoon against the Bobcats of Lees-McRae, tipping off at 3 o'clock p.m. The Rail Splitters will attempt to follow up on a historic season in 2015 through 2016 as LMU recorded a program record 34 wins next to only 3 losses. Lincoln Memorial accomplished a feat that had never been done before as the Rail Splitters ran the table in the South Atlantic Conference, finishing 22-0 versus SAC opponents. LMU rode a 24-game winning streak throughout the course of the season on their way to the NCAA Division II National Championship game in Frisco, Texas, coming up in a losing effort. King University was responsible for one of the Rail Splitters' 3 losses last season in the opening game, and Lincoln Memorial will attempt to provide the equalizer and begin their quest back to the national title picture. And it all begins Friday evening at 6 o'clock. This coming Saturday is Week 11 in the 2016 college football season, and the race for the SEC Eastern Division title continues in Knoxville, Tennessee, as the Volunteers host the Kentucky Wildcats for a rivalry matchup in Neyland Stadium. For the Wildcats, a heartbreaking loss at home to the Georgia Bulldogs last Saturday put a dent in their hopes of representing the East in the SEC championship game, while the Vols picked up a much-needed win over FCS opponent Tennessee Tech, putting an end to a 3-game losing streak. After the Florida Gators came up short on the road against the Razorbacks of Arkansas, there is still hope for both the Volunteers and Kentucky to participate in the conference championship game. However, the loser of this contest may end up counting themselves out of the top spot in the final division standings. The Tennessee Volunteers and the Kentucky Wildcats will kick off at noon this Saturday on the SEC Network. That's all for sports this week, but stay tuned as more LMU Community TV news right after this.
That will do it for today's edition of LMU Community TV News. I'm Peyton McDaniel.
And I'm Jansen Brown. We'll be back on Monday. Have a great weekend.